What's up, everybody, and welcome to Moments with the Mobleys. I am your man, Johnnie Mobley Jr.
Hey, y'all, I'm his wife, Deirdra.
And we something like an ordinary couple.
With extraordinary purpose. Greetings, salutations, accolades, and blessings. Happy New Year.
You gonna say that every
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right.
It is.
We're still in January.
Happy January. That's almost over.
Already.
How was your day?
It was good. How was yours?
It was good.
Good. I know I asked you earlier. So, are we gonna tell them what we got going on now, or no?
What we got going on?
You don't know? Well, I guess we don't need to tell y'all that because she don't know. She don't know what's going on.
We're going to tell them some stuff that we have going on.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the week after your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel to be 51?
It feels the same. I just get a lot more grateful every year.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Grateful you still like me. Still want to be married to me. Still want to be with me. Grateful that the kids still want to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, why wouldn't we?
You know, some jokers, they be someplace else once they turn old, and then nobody want to be around them.
Once you turn, you're not old.
I'm not. I'm 50 and fine, boy. The only reason I know that is because that woman over there tell me every single day.
I was going to say, that sounds a little bit conceited, Mo.
That's what you tell me. But you want me to believe it, ain't it?
Absolutely.
Okay, then. What you want me to say? I don't think I am. You always say you was a fine bleepity bleep bleep.
Nah,
bleep,
you lying about the bleepity bleeps because
bleep.
I don't put no bleeps behind
I
it.
be like, I ain't knew you could put all them cuss words together like
really?
that.
So I just be cussing when I be saying you fine?
You know, I'm lying. That's a lie. I'm lying.
That part.
I'm lying. But I feel good.
You look good.
Yeah, I feel good physically, mentally. I feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritually, I feel good. So it's a good thing. Some bones be cracking when I sit down and I get up now.
Well, I think that was
Yeah,
already
but it was
right?
every now and then. And it's crazy because I guess I don't recognize it, but like since I turned 51, every time I get up, my knee crack and be like crack, 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 crack. I'm like, well, but.
Well, just know this: it's not menopause. You just need to stretch.
Yeah, because the menopause is straight from the devil. That's just straight from the devil.
That's one article I ran across that said it's not. Did it say it's not menopause? You just need to stretch. It said it's not something you just need to stretch. It was funny.
And then when Deirdra talked to one of her lady friends, and they told her she was going through it for 6 years, then kind of took some of the pressure off you, did it? You was like, oh, okay.
I've just been going through nothing. Yeah, this
6 years,
2 years has been absolutely nothing.
Oh, Jesus!
When she told me that, I was like, huh?
Well, then I went praying,
like,
bro. I come against all that. That is not gonna happen. No, because you go through menopause, and I'm going through menopause. So no.
Did you say menopause?
Menopause.
Wow.
You know what menopause is?
What is menopause?
It's the emotional roller coaster
that the man goes through when his wife.
When the wife goes through. Yeah. She be like, it's on. I think it's coming. My whole body hurt. My legs hurt. My arms hurt. Then next thing, it ain't here. It ain't came on. I feel all right.
What? Why are you mimicking?
It's back on. It's back on. I don't know. I thought I see traces of it. I'm not sure what's happening. Oh.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm all right.
Why? What is going on with the Kevin Hart impersonation tonight?
That's my dude. Kevin Hart, my dude.
So listen,
he the only comedian I can like mimic.
Mimic?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You was kind of fishing around for that straw, huh? It had lost you for a minute?
A little bit.
Oh, okay.
I'm all right.
So listen, tell the good people, if you enjoyed your birthday festivities. We couldn't really. We talked about going somewhere, but then we had to change it and not talk about it or not do it.
Yeah.
Because we are on another baby watch.
And
And
this
so
one is in Atlanta.
we really were gonna chance it.
Yeah.
And try to do, breakaway, but we changed our mind last minute not to do it. Just because we didn't
Yeah.
want to get stuck being somewhere.
And our child told us if we not there when the baby's born, if we show up afterwards, she gonna say what parents.
She said the
I
nurse
have
gonna
none.
come in there and say your parents are here. They've
She gonna
arrived,
say,
and she's gonna
"I have
say,
no parents."
I have no parents. What parents? I was like, what?
Jesus.
She said she was gonna fully disown us if we're not there during the labor. So we are actively
Yeah. We go
on baby
pack.
watch.
Because when we get the word, we out. We just out.
Yeah. So we did do you mind if I share what we did for your birthday? Well, we had a full weekend all weekend. Well, why you got to think like
Just
that?
thinking,
You
I'm
act like
trying
we
to
went
see.
to a strip club or we went to all these
Well, you did a little
crazy
strip.
places.
You did a little strip for me.
I didn't. I really didn't.
You did a little strip for me.
No, I didn't.
Well, I saw it in my mind as a strip. She was
Really?
just taking the clothes off and putting the bed clothes on.
Oh.
But I used it in my mind as a strip. In my mind, the
I
music was
can't.
going. The music. Well, it was probably a little slower because she was moving a little bit slower than.
So what was the music? No, you said do the slower version. And why does everything have to be a whole musical selection?
And I was
for you?
like,
It wasn't. It wasn't. It really wasn't. So we went.
I was throwing the dollars to you.
We
but
had
you didn't pay
breakfast with a great couple, and then the day was a little groggy because it was raining and it was a little cold. And then that evening we had dinner with the girls that are here local and their families. And so that was supposed to be a prize. Of course, when we walk in the restaurant, he says, I saw y'all car outside, so y'all should have parked someplace different. Yeah. But needless to say, we went to Carrabba's. We haven't been there in a long time. Yeah. And it was but you know what I actually did? I had looked around for another hotel. That means we need to go to a hotel.
Restaurant. You got a hotel right here, Hotel Mobleys.
So I called another restaurant, and they were completely booked for large parties. And I was, just kind of a little like, I don't want to say that I was mad, because you can't be mad if the spots are filled. But I was low-key a little blowed. And then we thought about this different restaurant downtown, but the parking would have been dumb. The kids were coming, and we knew it was supposed to be raining, so we ended up saying, well, we're not going to do that one either. But I said, I was like, okay, Lord, Holy Spirit, which lead me to the one that we need to go to, and immediately the Carrabba's popped into my head. Yeah, so I just wanted it to be someplace nice, a family atmosphere, as well as like parking right outside, not where you have to go downtown and find a space or park in a garage, one of those garages or anything. And so I would say that it was a nice vibe. Would you say?
The food was, yeah.
The food
was good.
The server was amazing.
Yeah.
She was we love going to a good restaurant where you have a server that's knowledgeable of the menu. Not one where you add, I know they probably haven't tasted everything, but that would be a good idea, especially if, you're working at a restaurant, for you to have like a taste of maybe a little of everything to just get the feel of what it is.
What she said, she pretty much she was everything. She was giving us like
she
details.
Absolutely was. Yeah. Well, no, I've had that, and I changed the sauce, and I changed the pasta, and this and that, and so no, I would recommend this over that, or you could do this and add this. Homegirl was on it. Yeah, she
got a nice tip too. Yeah, because we like great customer service.
We love great customer service, to be honest.
Yeah.
And she was very, very good, very knowledgeable.
She was doing her thing, bro.
Yeah. So let me make y'all laugh though. So we are. She brings out when we come in. She says, "So who are we celebrating? Is it a birthday? Is it an anniversary?" So everybody points at Johnnie and says, "It's his birthday." So she just says, "Okay." So she writes something down on her little pad, And so at the end, when we're done, pretty much done eating, but talking and just playing with the grandbabies and stuff, she comes, your head was turned. And so she comes and stands like right behind you, and looks at me and says, just points that she's going to light the cake or whatever. And so I said, okay. And so she does that, and then her and the other servers start singing, and all of us are singing happy birthday. And so, of course, other tables around are going to look. Some people, smiling, they might sing with you or whatever. So we sing, and then we, clap and everything like that. And so I don't know what kind of, it was, maybe, have we figured out what kind of cake that was?
I didn't even taste it. It was a lot of chocolate
brownie with
and then they had like
chocolate and a vanilla mousse or something.
Yeah.
Whipped mousse or something on it.
So I don't do all like chocolate on top of chocolate on top of chocolate. If it got a little chocolate, I try it, but I don't do the chocolate on top of chocolate.
Yeah, and then it was Carrabba's, so that's Italian base, know. So I don't think it was tiramisu because I don't really care for that, but it was all right. So it was a nice sized piece, and so what we did was we shared it. Everybody
got a bite.
Yeah, took their fork and got a slither off of it.
A what? A what?
Slither. Mm-hmm. I said slither.
Okay, go ahead.
And so, but it was okay. So shortly after that, they sing to another patron, to another customer, and so just from their conversation with the lady and their rapport with the lady, we had already figured. Well, this is before they sung her, that her and her husband frequented this place regularly because all the waitresses knew them.
They hugged them and stuff. And
we just gonna call her Sally. We're not gonna call her what her real name was. We don't know the last name, but we just gonna you call her Sally. So Johnny was like, "Well, why didn't I get a hug like Sally?" And so I said,
all the waitresses hugged.
They was hugging her. I said, first of all, they didn't need to hug you. Second of all, she seems like her and the husband are a regular here at the restaurant. So we laughing about that. So then when they were singing to her at our table, some of us was singing, because I likes to act up. But we were singing and stuff and then clap when they said, happy birthday. And so she was all smiles. So it's time to go. So
I don't know why you telling this story.
Because it's hilarious. It's all about birthday shenanigans. And so we're about to go. Johnny goes to his restroom. He comes back. So as we're walking past the people, I say, "So, Sally, is your birthday actually today?" She said, "Yes, it's today." I said, "Oh, great. My hubby." She said, "Was it one of the guys' birthday?" I said, It's his birthday today as well. So y'all are birthday twins." She said, "Yes." So she looks at Johnny and says, "Oh, so you're an Aquarius." So Johnny says,
"Yes, ma'am."
"Yes, ma'am." She said, "Oh." So as she's saying this, she's saying, "So you're an Aquarius," like with her hand up for him to shake her hand.
She was looking like she wanted me to come in for a hug or something. I'm not a regular here, Sally.
She was clearly holding out her hand for him to shake it, and he was like this. He calls me nice, nasty, but he was like this. His one hand was down on his side, and this right hand was like this. On his chest like that. I leaned in. So she's saying, "Oh, so you're an Aquarius." And he like his hand like this, and he says,
"Yes, ma'am."
"Yes, ma'am." And I'm looking at him like, "So, baby, you ain't gonna shake the woman?"
That she said she waited till after we got outside. I said, "Yes, ma'am." I said, you all have a wonderful night.
Yeah.
And happy birthday, Sally.
I said, y'all have a great night.
And you talk about, so the lady was holding her hand out to shake your hand.
The whole time, y'all.
I'm like, I just didn't feel led to shake Sally's hand.
And on top of the fact you said, "And I just came from the bathroom and I just washed my hands."
I just washed my hands.
Y'all, I about passed out only because my husband, he talked real petty to me when I do stuff like that.
I'm usually the one who's friendly and give hugs and all that. But I don't know what was wrong with me that night. I just felt like I just washed my hands, Sally. I'm not doing this.
It was so funny, y'all. We got outside and I said, I told the girls.
Then she gonna talk about the lady was trying to shake your hand. I said, was she? You know she was trying to shake your lady had her hand all the way out there like this. I said, oh. Happy birthday, Sally.
Saying just like that the entire time. And I said, man, you nasty acting. You are nasty acting.
Just clean my hands.
And you did. Okay, so I had this grand idea. I had this grand idea that I was going to take him to grab dessert, right? After we leave the restaurant. So he says, I said, babe, let's take the actual scenic route home. Let's go by this local dessert place and I'll run in and grab some dessert and we can go home. So he says, okay. So the closer we get to the dessert place, he says, well, baby, are you gonna eat? I'm really not in the mood for no dessert.
No, I said that. I was full.
Gonna eat. Oh yeah, you were full still. So you said, excuse me, you said, babe,
you real burpish.
Uh-huh.
You real burpish. What's going on? You got a little gas in you? This is just burping.
Sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. Better out than in.
Spices and stuff just is be setting off stuff. So he says, I said, well, you did say that you were still full. And I was like, I was just going to, grab it. We could take it home. He was like, well, are you planning on eating any tonight? And I was like, no, not really. He was like, well, babe, you don't have to do that. Because it's just going to sit in the refrigerator. And then Thursday when the trash go out, we going to put it out. So I was like, okay, you're probably right. So we go home. It's raining a little bit. By the time we get back in our town, it's raining a little bit more. So he turns he is making a turn off of our pathway to going home. I said, well, babe, where you going? So he says, well, you'll see in a minute. So we make another turn. We pull up in front of M-Market. I said, babe, why are we in front of M-Market? So with the most serious face, he says, this now belongs to us. We closed on this property yesterday. What do you mean? We bought this property.
We just bought this.
I got our realtor friend. She found it was for sale. We did a quick sale or a quick whatever. We closed on this property yesterday, and so I'm looking at him like, but Johnny plays sometimes. But I think a part of me, well, I knew he was playing, but his face was so serious. I really thought there was some truth to it. So I was like, boy, shut up and stop lying. And normally if I say that, he'll like come out of it and he'll start laughing. But his face was real serious even still after that. And so I was like,
did this joke about a gas station?
Like, nigga, I be knowing stuff. Like, what do you mean?
How you did this?
Right. And so when he finally said, no, I'm just playing. He said, how did you feel when I said that this was now ours? I was like, shoot, I felt kind of good. So needless to say, my husband says, well, baby, M-Market sells the frozen yogurt. So I was like, well, all right. So he says, okay, I said, oh, what kind they sell? He said, well, they have different kinds and different toppings. I said, oh, okay, well, because I told him, I was like, well, just bring me something back. So he started laughing because you thought I was coming with you.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I want whatever kind you're going to bring me back. Because it was raining sideways at this point. So I was like, just bring me something back. He was like, well, they got different flavors and different topics. So I said, topics. What is going on tonight?
I don't know.
Different toppings.
You been sipping today?
No, I ain't been sipping nothing. I had water and a little bit of lemonade. So I said, we went in, well, mistakenly, this one didn't have the bar,
no,
the frozen yogurt bar. They had the for real
smoothie.
Yeah, if y'all have seen in the I don't know what they have them in Parker's, they have them in M-Markets. I don't know if they have them in all gas stations where you they have the smoothies and then the milkshakes and the freezer thing, and you take them out and take the lid off of it and sit it in the cup, and then the cup slowly goes up into the machine, and then you can pick if you want it thin or thick or medium thick or whatever. And then it spins it or does whatever, and then when it comes down, it's ready to consume. And so that's what he preferred.
I thought it was the frozen yogurt, but what I didn't want to do is go by that dessert bar, and I was like, they got carrot cake there.
Well, that was the intention behind it.
That carrot cake is so rich, and I'm like, I don't need it, because what was going to happen is, I was full. We'd have got that carrot cake. I'd have got my tail home and ate that whole thing.
And you was going to try to...
So I said, I'd rather not just even... I don't even want to do it. Then I wouldn't have made him sleep because I was been too full. And then you'd have been over there doing your little... I'd have been like, man, this is some foolishness. I was like, nope.
Well, our dessert ended up being... He had a strawberry banana smoothie. I ended up getting a peanut butter... Reese's peanut butter cup milkshake.
Yeah. So, and it was a little serving. It wasn't a big, because that cake at that dessert bar is huge.
It is, but I thought about it. We could have got the one piece of carrot cake, and I would have shared it with you.
You don't like carrot cake like that.
Well, I'll eat anything for you.
I'm not sure what that. I'm not sure how to respond to that.
I'll try it. You know, I mean, I know that their desserts are good, so it has to be like really, really good. You know,
but you wasn't gonna get. You would have got me a carrot cake and you would have got you something else. You wasn't going to get no carrot cake.
I would have ate that. I've eaten pieces of carrot cake before. It has to be really good.
Pieces of carrot
like
cake.
really decadent.
Yeah.
Like from McAllister's, they have a good carrot cake slice.
The rich, I just felt the richness, and I said to myself, Self, you go get him, and you go get this cake, and then it's going to be real nice, and you go eat it all.
Well, I'm glad you're operating with really, really good self-restraint.
Yeah, I said no. No. I said, baby, you go eat this dessert tonight. She said no. I said we don't need it.
And we passed it by. I'm kind of glad we did. But what I want to share is because if we're not talking about like of course y'all know we'll share different articles that we find, share information. We may answer questions that, belong to people who, have real questions, ask for relationship advice, ask for advice about different things. But there's nothing quite as tangible and as real life experiences, right? And so we always like to share just so we can be personable. One, two, so we can show y'all that even we have crazy things happen to us, and three, to show y'all how we deal with those things like in real time, right? So Saturday night, and then Allison reminded me as well that I told y'all about the dress and I was going to put on my gear and all that stuff or whatever. Well, I did. I
got some pictures, so we go put them out
on social media. However, I didn't put on the corset thingy or whatever. I went for another option, which worked absolutely better because I would have just been in complete bondage. And my husband is a whole, what do you call it? What's the extrovert. At these engagements, he's and so I knew he likes to talk and he likes to mingle, and so I was here for it. I wore a low heel, so I did really good, baby, right? Because I didn't take no slides in with me, no flip flops, no nothing.
Long as we got the couple. Hey, what's going on? Hey, this is my wife Deirdra. Once, long as we did that, it was like, all right, have a good night. But if it went for 2 minutes. Then when I went to look for her, she was sitting down in somebody's chair
I just because there were two people that I knew when you started talking to them, it was going to be a lengthy conversation. Yeah. Now, one of them, we were sitting down and we were eating, and hubby got up to go talk, y'all. And so these are just bloopers from the night, right? So this was one blooper. I'll go back to the situation, but this was just one blooper. And I know this coworker or whatever, and but He came and talked to me, y'all. And he had been eating, and I was sitting down eating. And so I just turned around to listen to what he said. And he talked to me, y'all, and he had spit some of what he was eating on me. Y'all.
And my wife, listen, my wife ain't got no poker face or nothing. And she said, and he just said, and just kept talking.
Like, I don't know if it was bread, if it was chicken. I don't know what it was. But I saw it come out of his mouth, and I know that it landed somewhere on my clothing. And my eyes wide, and I'm sitting there looking like, because I know he didn't mean to do it. He's a very sweet person. But in my mind, I'm going, did you just spit your food on me? And he said, yeah, so how you...
And I was surprised she didn't say, no, we're not going to skip over that.
Right.
You just spit on me.
Oh,
Sir,
y'all.
while your food is in your mouth, I need you to talk to me like this.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah.
So that happened. Again, I somehow mustered up the strength not to look like completely crazy, like, sir.
Oh, but when she came back to me.
So he leaves. Johnny takes forever to come back to the table. I'm slow eating my food. And Johnny comes back, and I look at him and I say, he spit his food on me. And he go, oh man, babe, you all right?
What you said something?
Oh Lord, I think I'm ready to go.
I didn't, but he almost. He almost.
It was coupled with the fact that he was. Lord. Now, if I didn't know him, it might have been a different story, but I knew that wasn't, he's a very sweet person or whatever. I knew that he didn't mean to do that or whatever. So, but let's back up. So we walk in, the party is at a very nice hotel. So Johnny parks the truck. He always, the one thing that I love about my husband is that he always gives me the option. He said, babe, do you want me to put you out at the front, or do you want me to, find a parking space and then you walk with me up to it? Now, shoe wise, I would have been fine because I wore a lower heel. But I was like, okay, you can just drop me off at the front because it was like dripping just a little bit maybe. And so I'm outside waiting on him to come. And so when he finally comes, I'm looking for him to come down the sidewalk so we can walk in the front door together. Well, maybe 10 minutes later, I'm looking and he coming out of the hotel. What are you doing, sir? So he started laughing. He was like, well, babe, I parked on the side and ended up coming through a different entrance or whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I had to, I forgot to cut, y'all know that back flap on the men's jacket that comes stitched? I forgot to cut that, right? So I forgot to cut it, and I meant to cut it before we left home. So we walk in the hotel. I walk in to meet him. So he's walking, and I'm like a little bit behind him, and I'm going, dang, babe, I forgot to cut the stitch, and I forgot to tell you to cut it like before you put it on. And so he says, you think it'll be all right? And so I was like, I don't really think so, because that's not going to look right. So I try to like kind of just I didn't know the seam or the stitch was going to be that tight or that thick. I just thought it would be a quick pinch and it would come open. That didn't happen. So while we're doing that, in the midst of that, I see a guy over at the coat check table. And so I'm getting ready to, I'm in the midst of like walking over, but before I go to step, I see a woman come up. She passes me because Johnny's over here from me because, again, I was getting ready to redirect myself and go to the coat check guy to see if he knew where we could get a pair of scissors from so we could cut it before we go in the party. So the woman walks past me to my husband, and another lady who was with her walks up and stands, and she stops, but the other girl keeps going past me. So I'm looking like, and of course, my husband works with a lot of people, and so I don't know all of them because he's even been in another location within the business as well. So that's the story. So she walks past me and she calls his name.
Well, what she actually did was walk past Deirdra, and then I didn't even see her come up, and she whispers in my ear.
Neither one of us saw her.
She says, "Hey, sir." And then I went to look, and by the time I looked, she came around. But then she grabbed my hand, and we was kind of like swinging hands, and I was like, she was like, you know who I am? Nah, I don't. And then I did like this. And she said, "You don't remember me, Johnny?" So obviously, I'm thinking in my mind, obviously you know me, but I cannot recall who you are. So I said, "Tell me your name." I was like, "Yeah, that sounds French. I don't think I know nobody by that name." And then she said her name, and then I was like, "G, girl, what's going on?" Then I gave her a hug because she was standing there looking very, very awkward. And the whole situation was awkward because I didn't even look at my wife because I already knew she had a look on her face, something like that. Like, you better say something fast because I don't understand what's happening right now. So I said, "How you doing? Everything good? Da, 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 da." So she walks off. And then I look back at my wife. And
that wasn't it.
What happened?
She says,
I said, "This is
to break up the awkwardness of it, because it was about to get very awkward." He says, this is my wife, Deirdra. So she says, "Oh, I met her before." When?
Probably was at
and then I thought
party.
She began to say something or whatever, but at this point, I'm more focused on finding the scissors to stab her in the neck with. I'm just playing. I'm more interested in getting the scissors to clip the thing off of the back of his jacket so we could go in the party. So I walked to the guy. He says, "You probably can go up to the front desk." So we walk up to the front desk. We get the scissors. I'm able to clip the thing on the back of his jacket. We go get our name badges. We go into the party. Now, why I brought this up is because, again, we want to show y'all that we go through awkward moments, that we go through things that sometimes test
It was very,
test
very
my love for the Lord and whether I'm going to ruin my witness and let my flesh take over. God bless you. Or whether I'm going to stay saved. Okay? So, first and foremost, I must say that I have grown a lot.
You handled it very well.
I must say that I've grown a lot.
Cause the whole party thing would have been over real fast.
I had a sequins dress on that was long, with the heels weren't that long. I had on my cute fur little wrap thing. However, in my mind, I saw stars. That ain't a good thing.
You ain't tell me that.
I know. It's okay. I worked through it really fast. I saw myself.
I did not. You ain't tell me that.
I saw myself like walking up and like literally going, "I'm sorry. Are you okay? Clearly you're not okay." She was acting a little bit like she had already started the pre-party before the party. That's how she was acting. So in my, you, and I'm saying this from a woman who clearly and completely loves the Lord with all her heart. I do. But in that moment as a wife, I feel like she was completely disrespectful. Yeah. So in those moments, that could have turned out completely different. One, if I was a wife who had issues with my husband as far as trust or anything like that, that could have completely turned another way. Because then I could have looked at my husband and say, "Why did this woman just bypass me and come speak to you? And she got her hand on you. Yeah, you removed your hand, but she got her hand on you." Again, when at your job, I understand they all have, because they all spend so much time together, they develop, work relationships, they become friends and stuff like that or whatever. This one person I'm not really familiar with. I think the name maybe or whatever. I think I did meet her one time when I went to the office. This was maybe like a couple years ago.
But it threw you way off because I didn't know who she was. So so I didn't recognize her anyway.
So when his reaction was that, because there were other people throughout the evening saying, "Hey, Johnny," you know what I'm saying? Yeah. "How you doing?" And you responded as if, you responded because you knew him.
Yeah.
And then you were able to say, "Well, so-and-so, this is my wife, Deirdra. Deirdra, this is so-and-so. They work in such and such department," or whatever. But again, I bring this up to say, this is yet another way that the enemy can come in and cause or wreak havoc in a relationship. One, I'm glad I've matured much. I never was a really confrontational person, but when it comes to my children, when it comes to my husband, I
speak your mind.
I do, and I have to make sure that I check myself, like I say, because my greatest concern is not what people will think first, but what God thinks first about me. And so that's what saved Sally the other night.
And let me add this part. So because she trusts me the way she does, even though it started, the whole situation started the way it did, when I came up out of it, she still followed my lead type thing. So I was able to, get a lady a hug and say it's been a long time. And we haven't worked in the same office in, I don't know, over a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. So I didn't recognize her. Like, completely didn't recognize her. So,
well, I think you and one of the other coworkers mentioned that she lost a lot of weight or something like that.
Yeah, she lost some weight, and then I just did not recognize her.
And I guess she wanted Johnny to see that she had lost weight.
Yeah. So, but anyway, Deirdra still kind of followed my lead, and then we had a conversation afterwards, which I need you to blurt her name out, so because I don't need no food, and she probably gonna know we talking about her anyway.
Well, that's good.
You say that's good?
Mm-hmm. She probably doesn't, even watch the podcast. No, but I will say this, and I'm going to give it to you from a two different perspective. One, as a wife, that was completely disrespectful, sis. So if any of y'all are out there doing that and to other women in front of, going up to men and not acknowledging their wife first, or hi, how you doing? I'm, his coworker. Hey, you don't remember me? I'm so and so and so and so. There's a way to introduce yourself. There's a way to handle that whole situation. So, sis, if you out there doing that to somebody disrespecting somebody's wife like that or whatever, you're wrong. First and foremost, that's what it was. Second of all, me as his wife, again, as I say, if we were at a rocky place in our relationship, or trust was an issue, or just whatever, that could have went completely left. Yeah. And then I was going to turn the party out before it started, and then we was going to go home.
Yeah. And then, we'd have been having a conversation the entire night about what happened.
Yeah. And so that can lead to all kind of open doors. Why did she feel comfortable, touching you? Why did she feel this? Why did she feel that? And then all my anger would have been turned on him. But again, the scenario happened, but it was so awkward, y'all. And so I thank God that for my growth, I thank God that I didn't come out of pocket because, he just told y'all he didn't know this part, but because I wanted to. And even after we went into the party, and what was funny was the girl that came with her was looking at me. And it wasn't just a pleasant look. She was looking at me like, oh, bleep, 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 bleep. What's she about to do? Because something ain't adding up. Something ain't looking right.
And when I'm telling you, I've known this woman for a while, and never touched nothing. So not only it just threw me off, and I'm almost 100% sure that she was tasting before she came to the party.
She was on some liquid courage before she came to the party,
and then she just, and I'm a friendly dude, but me being a friendly dude and my posture is two different things. I do check people if they go out of bounds real quick. And most of the time, all it is me checking them one time. Once I check them one time, never got a problem again. But I need some people don't understand boundaries. So sometimes you have to clarify the boundaries. And a lot of times people don't do that. And what happens is you think it's going to happen one time, and then it wind up happening 2 or 3 or 4, 5 times. I've had to, tell a couple of colleagues like, hey, don't touch me. Like, keep your hands to yourself. Don't touch me. I've literally had to tell colleagues, we're not doing that. Don't touch me. Just keep your hands to yourself. Because what's not going to happen is I don't need you doing this and feeling like this is the relationship that we have, that you can just do all that at any point in time. Or
call me your work husband and I'm your work wife and all that stuff.
And 2, what ain't going to happen is HR will call me and say, hey, so-and-so done put up a complaint against you saying that you missed and touched this, that, and the other when you was in my space. So don't touch me. And I've literally told one of them, I said, touch me again, I'm going to HR. I mean, I don't understand. You ain't got to understand. Stop touching me.
Those are just straight boundaries, y'all. And like I said, for me, it was, and I'm not going to say, oh, well, I'm just the holiest of thou. And, the angels were singing and I was okay. And I wasn't.
Nah.
I was.
She wasn't. And I felt the heat. I ain't even looked at her. I just felt the heat.
I was
I tried to diffuse it as much as possible. I said, I'm going to get this hand back first. And you feeling good. Help me remind. And when she said her whole name, I was like, yeah, I don't know. I've never called her that. I've always either called her by a nickname or something like that, which I do a lot with everybody. But yeah, she threw me off when she called her whole name. I like, that sounds French. I don't know no French women. I don't know who you are, lady. I don't. I was trying to think. This is somebody's wife that we mentored. We counsel. I'm talking about. I was going through the boy. Who is this woman? Who is this woman?
Because Harpo had looking a little nervous, like he didn't know what was.
I was a little
what
bit
was about to come out of his wife's mouth.
I was a little bit, and I was just nervous because I was like, "Hey, you don't even understand this woman beside me because she protective about her man, and you just came through the gate, through the boundary, straight to the throne. You can't."
And of course, I shared it, shared the whole story with the girls when we were at his birthday dinner. And so my girls are a little undone sometimes, especially when it comes to their daddy. And so, of course I got the, Debbie, you should have blum, blum, blum. You should have did this, did that, or whatever. We would have came and got you out if they would have locked you up.
Daddy, we gonna bring you lunch. Just show me who she.
Right.
I'm good. I don't need no lunch. I'm straight.
We gonna take turns bringing you lunch this week, just so we can see.
What day you get? Right. Tuesday. I go Wednesday, so and then we'll do. I'm good. Yeah. Don't worry about that. Yeah. I got this.
Again, I thank God for growth, and I wanted to bring it up. Johnnie and I are fine. Johnnie and I are always fine. Yeah. Even when we ain't fine, we fine. Yeah. Because you'll never know it. Because we deal with that in our house. But at the end of the day, I went, and Googled it because it's just interesting to see what other people would say they would do and would, those QUO answers, those question and answer forums that they have. You put it up. You can put it up on Google if you put a question in or whatever. And so, some people, of course, you're going to always find the fighters say you should have slapped or you should have, said, get off my man or just whatever. But I always look for, that's not who I am. No day. Sometimes I want to just turn my light off? Yeah, absolutely. But I choose to, at least start in a less aggressive, a less aggressive posture or whatever. But at the end of the day, the thing that I was reading on Google, it was saying like like ask the question. One thing say, ask the question, hey, are you okay? To the person. Like, and I don't think, more so in a concerned way, be like, you all right? Because clearly something is wrong for you to be,
Lord
you know what I'm saying?
Jesus.
For you to be in this posture
That's
with my man.
Yeah.
Are you okay? And then it was like, try to diffuse the situation. Try not to be, confrontational or take it, a couple levels up. So then, it gets loud and draws attention from other people. Because it was other people, like in the lobby, it was other people passing to go into the party and stuff like that. And then, of course, it was like, just, respectfully go to the person and said, say, hey, I think your behavior is completely disrespectful. I'm going to ask you to stop. I didn't see myself with all those middle things happening. I saw myself going from 0 to 1,000 real quick.
Yeah.
And so,
and then you got to pay attention to who you're talking to. So, like we said, she had a little something to drink. So,
at least
she
that's
was feeling
what we
good.
think.
And then
her whole
if Deirdra,
demeanor or posture.
Yeah, if Deirdra would have responded from that place, then I mean, she probably would have responded from a different place. Then she had her friend with her, so it could have just escalated it to a place that it didn't need to be. So, once I realized who she was, then I diffused it by giving her a hug, and then we talked for a quick second, and then it was over. And once Deirdra, I think the biggest part was because the look on my face was like, lady, who are you? And Deirdra was like, you have to have the wrong person. Because my husband, like, he don't know you. But I was like, nah, I don't know no French women. Sorry. You got to. Then when I found out who she was, then I hugged her. So, but I had to diffuse it. And this is the one thing that I've learned over the years. So my posture and being a leader in my home and having a relationship with God is my responsibility, and being a leader to my wife and my children is a responsibility. The woman was never meant to be that. Now, it's a lot of women forced into that spot because the men just leave. So, but they were never created to carry that. They have a lot of stuff they have to carry already, but they never was created to carry that. So the best thing how I can describe this is my wife is a mirror image of how I lead and how I treat her. Men, take this. If your wife act a fool, do all that, that's a mirror image of the leadership that you provide in your household. A mirror image. If you're not a leader, if you're not, imparting into your wife and your kids, if you're not leading your kids, that's a mirror image of you. If you married and you have kids and you leave, your wife is a mirror image of you. If you're not there, your kid, everything. And I got this. I can't remember the story right now, but this something that Tony Evans said that was, boy, profound. It cleared up so much in just a statement that he made. And I'm not gonna misrepresent. Yeah, I'm gonna find it and then I'll bring it back. But it was when I tell you insane, I was like, ugh, it was heavy.
Yeah.
But basically that's what he said, because the man has a responsibility. When it came to Adam and Eve, Adam had a responsibility when he created Eve. And because he didn't hold up to his responsibility, the snake was able to get to Eve. So God didn't never come back and ask Adam and Eve. He just asked Adam, like, where are you? Why was somebody able to get to your wife? And a lot of men do not want to take the responsibility. Yeah, it's a bad decision for your wife to make a decision to go outside the marriage or a man. But here's the thing. If I'm a leader in my household and my wife steps out, I got to look at myself first. So it's something that I did or did not do or did not equip her with for that to happen. So you have to check yourself first. And I know probably everybody probably saying, yeah, but if she step out, they ain't the man fault. Look in the mirror. Can almost guaranteed she went outside the marriage to find something that you wasn't giving her. Almost 100% guarantee that. And she's probably told you. Most women tell their husband what they want and what they need. A lot of men just don't listen. Now, some women don't tell their husband. They just talk to their girlfriends, which is not right. But most of them, they tell their husbands. Some kind of way, shape, form, or fashion, they tell their husbands. And then when the husband don't respond, then at some point in time, years and years and years, if somebody give them that missing piece, what is supposed to be the husband giving it to them, then yeah. Ain't nobody gonna agree with me with that, but
you just agree with yourself. You say, yeah.
I promise you, if a man is doing what he's supposed to do, not perfect, but holding up to his responsibilities as being a leader in his home and being present for his wife and being present for his children and trying to answer the questions. You ain't got to know the answers to all of them. You can find it out, though. But if you're the source that they're coming to, because that's what it's supposed to be. God is the man's source, and then the women are directed to go to the man for the source. You're supposed to be able to answer questions and lead your family to Christ and teach your kids and your wife about you're supposed to be able to do all that. The man is. Your first ministry is your house. And if you can't be a leader in your home where you influence your wife and your kids to follow you wherever, then yeah, you can't be a leader nowhere else. You just can't. And you leave gates and doors and all kind of stuff open for other stuff to get to your folk. I'm gonna hush on that.
Because you've been watching Kingdom Man.
Yeah.
So you real potent. But
he said some stuff, boy.
Well, I want you to get the right thing.
Yeah, so I gotta quote that thing right
because he put it together. Mess it up. But I think the one thing, for you going is where you went at. The one thing that I was going to say that even came out of that as I, thought about the situation and it would come up or whatever, and I would really get to thinking about it. We are in a space to where we are going hard with helping couples and all these things or whatever. So what way can the enemy come or try to come is to cause division, or to cause issue, or throw some type of stone in the way to make us, pit us against one another. And so I really just started thinking about that as I sat here and told the story.
Yeah.
Like legit. So you got to think about it. Things don't, when things happen, I'm always looking for, God, where's your hand in this? Or what lesson are you trying to teach us? Or what is it that we were supposed to learn from that particular situation? And I find, like I said, with you talking about everything that you were just talking about as far as the man leading, and that I took your lead in that.
Yeah.
The Bible clearly says the enemy comes to steal, to kill, destroy. That's relationships, that's families, that's people, that's whatever, whatever relationship you may be on down the line, husband, wife, daddies and children, mother, just on down the line. That's his goal. And so when you are in an area, like I said, that we're really, going in purpose now, the enemy is going to try to come and cause confusion to get us unfocused. Does that make sense? And so that's why I said to Johnny, like I told him, like I said, I don't lie, I didn't like that. And he was like, I know you didn't, babe. You all right? We good. Everything's all right. You know what I am to you, who I am to you. You know who I am. And for me, that was never a question, though.
Yeah.
It was never a question for me.
Yeah.
It was always.
I know.
Okay. All right. And there you have it.
But yeah.
But I thank God that I have the relationship that I do with him, that, again, I'm more concerned about my witness to under him and what he thinks, rather than what I think about what man thinks about me. And so that was, in between the toiling for that quick hot moment of, you got me messed up all the way, Sister Sledge. All the way.
And that could have easily went. That could have easily went to a confrontation, and then just like she said, the authorities could have been called.
It could have,
and then that could have been a whole side thing, and now you got to go to court and all this other stuff, and it's a distraction.
It really is.
It's a distraction, and you don't know how many people on a daily basis something like that comes up, and it catches them when they're tired or whatever, and then they just spiral down this rabbit hole, and then. Later, 3 days, 4 days later, when your emotions done settled, now you like, I just shouldn't have did that.
Yeah.
Because now I got, I
all
got
these
to deal with all this
from it. And then on top of the fact, and then we gonna go, but on top of all that, I was with you at a work function.
Yeah.
Right? That's your place of employment. Those are your
for now.
Right. Those are your coworkers. Those are people who hold you in high esteem. Everybody that I was introduced to, that you saw, you spoke, you all talked, and he even it was good to put faces with names of people that you have mentioned or just whatever, and you introduced me and they received me.
Yeah.
Because
they knew you before they saw your face.
Yeah.
Because I speak about you on a regular basis.
You do, and several people said that. He talk about very nice. That's what he's supposed to be talking about.
You know what?
Very good. No, I'm just playing. But everybody was. We ended up having a great time. The place was packed. We did. We had a great time, and so even though that situation tried to throw us off and deter us from having a good time, it's like. We don't do that often, get dressed up and go out and stuff like that. And so I had a really nice time. And I'm just glad that it went the way that it did, and it didn't go another way, because, we got too much to do for foolishness to come on in. So
absolutely. That
was it. And our weekend ended well. And now we own another baby watch, like we told y'all. And so we're excited about that. I just wanted to share that, and I promise we will share the other stuff very soon.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So thank y'all for rocking.
The only thing I'm mad is
what you doing?
You are a role model, whether you are in your child's, your wife, your family's life or not.
Absolutely.
It doesn't take the responsibility off of you. The responsibility you have as a man began when you was born, period. And if you didn't have good teaching and good connections, then you need to reach out to some options to actually do that. But a woman was never meant to be raising a male by himself. It was never meant to be like that. Now I'm gonna leave that alone, I'm not taking nothing.
This is not.
I'm not taking nothing. I'm not taking nothing from strong women who raise their children. I'm not doing that. But you got to understand, once the man is removed from the family, then all right.
No. Good night, y'all. www.momentswiththemobleys.com. He has been heavily into watching Kingdom Man again, and so what's about to happen is we're about to go eat dinner, and he can tell me some more about Kingdom Man, and then I can tell him about this Kingdom Woman. Momentswiththemobleys.com, y'all, for all things Mobleys. Okay, make sure y'all go and vote, please. January 31st is the last day to vote. You can vote every day from if you got different emails, you can vote one time from each email, right? And so we want y'all to go and vote. We won last year. This voting up until the 31st is to actually get us on the ballot for the best local podcast. And so that's our goal. We appreciate y'all. Go to Connect Savannah. Y'all can go to our social media. We have the links on there as well. Please, 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 and thank you all in advance. Anything else for you tonight?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
I ain't saying nothing else. Listen, this has been Moments with the Mobleys. I am your man, Johnny Mobley Jr.
And I'm still his wife, Deirdra Mobley.
And we're something like ordinary couple.
With extraordinary purpose.
You can't be trying to shut my mouth.
I'm not trying to shut your mouth, baby. But this is not to be about to be a 2-hour session. This could be actually another session.
I'm real full right now.
You really are.
I could literally talk for another 2-3 hours.
I know, and I'm not about to do that. I'm about to get up, and you can sit here and talk to this camera.
Well, I ain't, because our media team probably gonna leave.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
Okay.
Come back. Peace out.
Have a good night.